The older I get, the more I'm starting to sound and think like my father. Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I have my seatbelt twisted, so I had to fix that. And this, we have to eliminate the windy sounds. You'd think I was in Chicago, right? The Windy City. I am. Fuck it! So you think I was going to forget that? And that stands for the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. And today, guys, I shaved. My face is as smooth as a baby's ass. I know what you're saying. How do you know how smooth it is? It's a figure of speech, and that's my first point. I didn't even plan on this content, but my dad used to say that. See, he was a Vietnam vet, and when he finally was able to get out of the service after serving 12 years, he, like a lot of other ex-military men, grew his hair, grew a beard, all that fun stuff, right? Because you want to do the opposite of what you weren't able to do. So when he'd shave, that's what he would say. But my point is, when I was young and started to look at politics and which side of the aisle did I agree with more, and who was going to be a game changer when it came time, when election year was there and the hype of the presidential election, right? And my dad was like, they're all crooks. Don't waste your time on that crap. It doesn't matter who gets in. It's always the same anyways. Nothing gets done. And they're all just pandering to their base, and it's a popularity contest basically, and it's who's gonna grease their palm the most, right? So I thought, what a bitter man. What a bitter old crusty man, right? And I'm thinking, this man has no positivity at all. He's not optimistic. He's just like disgruntled and just getting bitter and old, right? Fast forward a few years, and I feel the exact same way. I think it's corruption all the way around. So if you're this side of the aisle or that side of the aisle, the hypocrisy and the ability to say with such confidence, like a ton of BS, and lie with the straightest face about everything, and then call the other side out on something, which, if you look back in the not so distant past, either they themselves or their party did the same thing. Everything is super hyped. And coming from the world of professional wrestling, I can tell you that politics and politicians are a lot like wrestling promoters. It's the same game. It's the same game, trust me. I mean, Trump was in the WWE, right? WWE Hall of Famer too. Jesse Ventura, I forgot about him. Kane, right? Glenn Jacobs, he's now the mayor of Kent County, Cobb County, whatever, and I think Arkansas, wherever it is. Kane chokeslammed me, and he beat me up, and Mark Henry came and gave me a big hug and asked if I was okay. Of course I'm okay. It's pro wrestling. It's fake. Don't say that in front of Dr. D. David Schultz. Ask John Stossel about that. Yeah, Google that. You want to see a guy get an open hand slap across the head twice, back when wrestling was a protected, small, niche industry. Which, again, I don't know how this is all tying together. I've got great transitions today. So, one of the reasons I went into professional wrestling is I was going to go into business with my father, who was a partner and had like 3 TV, electronic, radio repair shops, right? VCRs, all that good stuff in the 80s. So I had taken 3 years of 3 or 4 years of electronics as an elective in high school, and then I was going to go work for him and basically, inherit the kingdom. I could fix all that stuff. In fact, this year, my wonderful, beautiful, perfect girlfriend gave me exactly what I asked for. What do you buy the minimalist, right? Well, she bought me what I asked for, a VCR. And it was broke, which was perfect. Because then I can see if I still had the skills that pay the bills. And let me tell you, God is my witness. I fixed that SOB 5 minutes. As soon as I opened it up, boom. It's like hearing an old song on the radio, right? And it all just came flooding back. Memories of the skills I used to use, and I did not use it all. So what happened was my dad basically walked away from his business and decided to become a truck driver. Now I needed to work for him because it was a co-op to graduate. Now there's no business to go to. So I decided to do the next best thing that lines up with electronics and technology. I became a busboy. Bussing tables, being a barmaid. Is there a maid, barman? Is there a male version of this? Barmaid. And also a waiter, a server. Because you had waiters and waitresses. Now you have servers, right? I don't know what it is. So, felt more like a servant. So, anyways, I just hear my dad coming out of me. And I say certain things. I use dated, awful jokes, which are now funny. And the music that he listened to and he played, because he was a musician as well, I like the music. What the heck is that? Is it conditioning through being around him all those years? And I hated it and rebelled against it, and thought it was terrible? Or is it in the DNA? I don't know. I don't know if it's DNA. I don't know if it's the NRA. I don't know if it's the DBA. Shout out to the DBA. He's a wrestler. And a mailman. So, that's that. That's that. So I don't know. It's really interesting. How I've I used to despise his views and like his way and all of that. And in a lot of ways, I'm very different from him. Like I said about the pro wrestling thing, I went into it to spite him because I thought it was weird. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna be gay, rolling around with men in their underwear. You want to do that?" I'm like, put it that way, no, but that's not what we did, We're wrestlers, entertainers, sports entertainers. That's what the Vincent Kennedy McMahon says, Donald Trump's best friend. So, when I went that route, it was in rebellion to my family, to being lower to middle class, and just wanting to get out and become something, do something. And everyone said, hey, just go in the Army, go work for one of the big three, car companies, and let them take care of you for 30 years. And I thought, what is this, going to prison? I want to have an exciting life. I don't mind challenges. I don't mind risks. And that was that. So careful, you guys. When you get older, you start to sound like your father. It's really crazy. Or maybe male influences in your life, uncles, older brothers, things like that. These are just things that make you go, So, thanks for letting me rant about that, guys. Share some of your stories and how you become like the family where you hear your parents coming out of you, especially if you have kids. That's when all of the way they trained you, they raised you, starts to come out. And it ain't pretty. Sometimes it's fun though. Especially if you're like my parents and they're pushing up daisies, so I kind of chuckle about it now when I hear them coming out of me in certain ways, certain situations, just out of the blue. So guys, enjoy your day. Talked long enough. It's time to get on down the road. Bye-bye.